A new Operation Harsh Doorstop update just released. This is a major update that changed a lot of things in the game, but we're going to go over the update and then answer the question, is Operation Harsh Doorstop worth playing again? First off, this update introduces a few good aspects, such as many new animations that look, well, really clean, as well as some small weapon sway. There were some small audio adjustments and some optimization changes introduced as well. Some of the maps had some reworks done to them, and they also added a few new maps to the game, one of which you are seeing right now. The update also states they updated the AI so that it has some more advanced mechanics. However, it to me didn't really change a ton, and playing against players is always better. There are a lot of lighting changes and a lot of other various fixes that happen in this update, but not a ton that are really worth noting about. Another quick note here is that they also added swimming, which is at least, well, better than squad, in which you just drown. I did play for about 30 minutes after the update came out to see what it was all about. However, there were some major issues for me personally. Before this update, the game for me just didn't have a lot of replayability, and I found myself jumping in, shooting a little, and then just closing the game. Now, I would always keep an eye on the Discord for any news/updates about the game. However, there wasn't a lot. In fact, there wasn't any notable mention that this update was even going to be coming out today unless you checked their Twitter. I then found out through a YouTube premiere and tuned in while waiting for my game to update. One major thing I noticed pretty fast is the vehicles. For a while, all I saw about the game was that they were adding vehicles to it, so naturally I thought this update would bring them in. However, I would be wrong. Vehicles are in the testing phase, and there is a server, an official server, that has a mod for them so you can play and test them out for the future. This update didn't add the vehicles that we were being told a lot about and that they will come in a future update. However, that isn't really the end of the world, but it is a big replayability feature that would help the game a lot. Right now, the game is pretty simple. I mean, you just spawn in with a kid and then run up with some friends and then die and have to completely respawn all the way at the main base. This is a big issue for me playing this game. If I push with some teammates deep into the enemy lines and one of us gets caught and dies, we cannot pick them up and continue the fight. We basically just get stopped right in our tracks. Another issue is that I'm a squad player, so using my map while walking around is highly important. So the fact that I cannot do that in this game hurts a lot, as it can sometimes be really hard to identify enemies from a far distance, as well as if a gunshot near me is enemy or friend, without opening this giant map and not being able to move. As well as vehicles don't really have their own symbol on the map, so it's kind of hard to tell unless you look at the side of them and see the flag. This update did introduce one more big feature that they are really proud about, and that is that if a server has a mod on it, you will automatically download and or update that mod for that server without having to go through the pain of getting in the workshop like before. This is a cool feature, but doesn't really help the core of the game a lot in my opinion. So now we get to the final question. Is Operation Harsh Doorstop worth playing? And, well, in my opinion, there isn't a ton of replayability even with this update. It is heavily reliant on bots and mods, but even when you get in a server that doesn't have any bots and just players, you will do a ton of work to push behind enemy lines with some teammates, and then you'll just dwindle down because you can't pick up your teammate even if you kill the enemy that, well, killed your teammate. Now, a lot of the changes/additions they put into the game are recommended by the community, and I have to be honest, I have no idea what the idea is that the community wants, but it seems to be jumbled all over the place. It seems like the main features that are going to make this game have a lot more replayability are still a little ways away. This is all while they add these other random features to the game that just, well, they seem to be random. I am excited to see where this game goes, though, and I'm very, very interested in it. However, I still think it needs a lot more time before it becomes something that is really enjoyable to play for many, many hours. This also includes things like deployables, fobs, rally points, all that stuff, which again, though, it is a mod and there is an official server out right now that you can play with both vehicles and deployables if you really wanted to. But anyway, if you like the video, I do stream on kick.com/yuppy, and play games like Squad and hopefully Operation Harsh Doorstop as well in the future. Thank you for watching.